Greetings, folks. Mason Goodnight here with my brand new podcast, Spurgeon Read My Way. I've already done an introductory video. It was a Facebook live stream. I connected it to the Patreon. Of course, it's on Facebook, obviously. I've created a Facebook page for Spurgeon Read My Way. I've sent out invites to my personal page, created a YouTube channel for Spurgeon Read My Way. I have a Instagram, I guess, for Spurgeon Read My Way. I don't even know what I'll use it for, but hey, if people have it, I was able to click it and link it to Patreon. And also have an X account, formerly Twitter account. Most of my contact about it, most of the information I give out extra will be there on Facebook. But the primary way, and the way to get the most out of this podcast, is to sign up and be a subscriber on Patreon. Now, if you're just watching this on YouTube, praise the Lord. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I pray that you are blessed as I am blessed. I love Spurgeon. I've read a lot of him, bits and pieces over the year, but never really dedicated to reading a lot of him. And I always thought his lectures of his students, I've read some parts of them. They're great. And I thought, I want to read them this year. I'm 50 years old. It's 2025 now. It is the first day, January 1st, 2025. I'm 50. I am not getting any younger. And Spurgeon's stuff is just as beautiful and amazing as it always has been. And I want to read it. And I thought to myself, read it myself, but then also, how about to encourage me to be faithful to reading? How about I read it and record it so other people can be blessed? And that also is also self-beneficial to me, because by me recording it, by other people subscribing and wanting to hear it, then that means I have to be responsible to do what I've said I'm going to do. So that means that I'm going to try to put these out faithfully every second and fourth Friday of the month. There will be a new lecture to Spurgeon students, a new reading of lecture to my students on the YouTube channel. It will drop on the second and fourth Friday of each month. Free for anybody who wants to watch them. And of course, you watch them and you put up with all the YouTube ads and whatever it is that comes with YouTube, good or bad. However, I am launching a Patreon account. And the only tier available right now is the $5 tier. And for that, I think you get a lot. I think it's safe to say you get a lot of bonuses by signing up on the Patreon. Not only will you get, of course, the chapters, the lectures read, and no commercials. So that's nice. You don't have any of the interruptions that you get with YouTube. You get those commercial free. But I'm also going to drop them a week early. So you're going to get the same podcast that goes to YouTube without the commercials, and you're going to get a week early, where YouTube, I'm going to drop them on the second and fourth Fridays. These episodes will drop on the first and third Fridays on Patreon. So if you pay $5 a month, you get them early, you get them commercial free. I know there's podcasts that even that's all they do. Well, I'm not just going to do just that. I'm also going to provide a second show, a mini cast, as it were, another podcast, where I'm also going to then read some of Spurgeon's. I'm going to read all the way through it eventually. I'm going to read his morning and evening devotionals. And that's not it. Also on that show, I'm going to read a quote or several from a book I have by Spurgeon. Not by him, by people compiled about him. I've had it for years. It's got 2,200 quotes from C.H. Spurgeon. So I'm going to read one or more of those on that same podcast. So on that bonus podcast, for my Patreon subscribers, you're going to get the morning and evening devotional and some quotes from Spurgeon. So that's all going to be in there. And that's exclusively to Patreon subscribers. And of course, that will be ad-free and only to the Patreon subscribers. Now, on top of that, but wait, there's more. I'm also going to give away a copy of the deluxe edition lectures to my students that C.H. Spurgeon put together so many years ago, but they've bound into a nice leather-bound, hardbound book, and it looked really nice. I've ordered it. It's coming. I don't have it now to show it to you. It's brand new, coming to me, and I just launched this channel today. Just got this going, and my goal is ultimately, if I could get 500 subscribers or so, I would be able to quit my day job and go back to full-time evangelistic ministry, which is my passion, which is my joy. And if not, so be it. That's great. I'll just keep reading this, doing it on YouTube, and getting this stuff out there. But if anybody signs up with Patreon, You're going to get those bonuses. If that's 1 person or 10 subscribers, I'm going to do it for you. But if I get 500, then I'll probably be able to quit my day job. And then I'd be able to get back to full-time evangelism, and I'd be able to drop more content on this channel. And because if I got that many subscribers, people are obviously saying, I want to hear more. So on the Patreon account, you're going to be able to give a lot of input, be able to talk on, you'll be able to put your chat. I'll make sure to open up the chat for everybody so that it's on there so that they can talk about the episodes, say whatever they feel. I'll pay close attention to that, more so than I will on the YouTube because you're the Patreon subscribers. And you'll get the behind-the-scenes stuff. You're going to get to hear more because if I'm like to talk about special things, it'll probably be on that mini-cast with the extras that I'm already doing with the morning and evenings and with the quotes. And then also I'll just be talking about life in general and things and answering questions. I'll try to engage with people more on that. But if I reach that 500 subscribers and I'm able to get out of my day job, maybe I'll start reading more stuff. And Spurgeon, I love him. And there's so much stuff. I would say probably the next thing I would endeavor to read, so I'm really excited if we could actually ever hit this, because the book I read by his, it might be the only book I've read completely of his, is of course as an evangelist, is The Soul Winner. And it's awesome. So that would be my next. So if I get 500 subscribers, I'd probably add another show, and then that would go to another tier. I'd probably open up another tier for that. But however it goes on, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I keep it in the $5 tier. Maybe I up the tier. Maybe I add a $10 tier. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. I love this stuff. It's good. It's to the glory of God. He's the Prince of Preachers. He's been blessing people for centuries now. He's a 19th century, titan. And if you know anything about Spurgeon, which most Christians do, most Christians love him. Most Christians love so much of what he's done and said and read and wrote. And so I would love to be able to put that out, read it to you my way. And I promise I'm not a voice actor, so I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not a robot. And I am not going to sound like an AI. So I'm going to sound like me. And maybe I'll think around with things. Maybe if people want it, maybe I'll try to play around with being a British accent on some extra show, something that's not the main show. I'll do like an extra show where I'll play around, try to do an accent or something. And I'm sticking with my voice right now. Believe me, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want anybody to be like, hey, you don't sound anything like he is from this part of England. He would have sounded like, I don't know. And that's the bummer. We don't know what he sounds like because they don't have any recordings of him. It's a real bummer. So I'm going to read Spurgeon My Way, and I pray it blesses you. And if you want to join along with the Patreon account, please do. If you don't, again, thank you so much for watching here on YouTube. Share it around. Let other people know that really like Spurgeon. And if you like the reading of it, then let folks know, and I'll be reading a lot of it. So today, like I said, I'm going to give you a little teaser. I'm going to read the preface to his lectures to my students. So the preface is called The Pastor's College. So get to that here in just a second. Take a quick drink. The Pastor's College. The Pastor's College was commenced upon a very small scale in the year 1856. Since that date, it has educated and sent forth into the ministry not less than 350 men, of whom, after deductions by death and other causes, about 300 remain in the Baptist denomination, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. In addition to this, a far larger number of men receive gratuitous education in the evening, such as may fit them to be city missionaries, coal porters, or useful private Christians. The institution receives no man in order to make him a preacher, but is established to help in the further education of brethren who have been preaching with some measure of success for 2 years at the least. Many men of earnest spirit and established Christian character are hindered in their efforts to do good by the slenderness of their knowledge. Conscious of their own defects, they endeavor to improve themselves, but the absence of a guide, their need of books, and their scanty time all prevent them from making progress. These are the men whom the Pastor's College welcomes, men in whom piety, zeal, and the indwelling spirit to be found need not fear refusal at our doors on account of poverty, if they possess those gifts of utterance which are essential to the preacher. The college aims at training preachers, rather than scholars, to develop the faculty of ready speech, to help them to understand the Word of God, and to foster the spirit of consecration, courage, and confidence in God, are objects so important that we put all other matters into a secondary position. If a student should learn 1,000 things and yet fail to preach the gospel acceptably, his college course will have missed its true design. Should the pursuit of literary prizes and the ambition for classical honor so occupy his mind as to divert his attention from his work, they are perilous rather than beneficial. To be wise to win souls is the wisdom ministers should possess. In the pastor's college, definite doctrines are held and taught. We hold by the doctrines of grace and the old orthodox faith, and have no sympathy with the countless theological novelties of the present day, which are novelties only in outward form. In substance, they are repetitions of errors exploded long ago. Our standing in doctrinal matters is well known, and we make no profession of latitudinarian charity. Yet we find no failure in the number of earnest spirits who rally to our standard. Believe in that truth alone can true freedom be found. The support of the college is derived from the free will offerings of the Lord's people. We have no roll of subscribers, although many friends send us aid at regular intervals. Our confidence is that God will supply all our needs, and he has always done so hitherto. The president has never derived a farthing from the work for himself in any shape, but on the contrary delights to give to the work all that he can, both of money and gratis service. And therefore he the more confidently appeals to others to assist him in maintaining the institution. No work can possibly confer a greater benefit upon mankind than the training of ministers whom God has chosen. For around them spring up churches, schools, and all the agencies of religion and philanthropy. As we are commanded to pray for laborers in the Lord's harvest, so are we bound to prove the honesty of our prayers by our actions. At least £100 is required every week to carry on the work. C.H. Spurgeon, Nightingale Lane, Clapham, Surrey. So that is the preface to Lectures to My Students. If you liked that, if you think my reading was something you want to hear regularly and much longer form, feel free to sign up there on YouTube and watch. And more so, if you want to get all the extra goodies, I didn't even cover all of them, don't believe. I've covered them in other areas. But yeah, just to throw this out there, if you sign up, not only are you going to get the lectures a week early on Patreon, you sign up for that $5 a month Patreon support, instead of the second and fourth Friday, you're going to get the episodes dropping on the first and third Friday. And on top of that, you're going to get every week, a second podcast, which I'll be reading the morning and evening devotional by Spurgeon. And then you'll also be getting quotes by C.H. Spurgeon from his quote book that I have of 2,200 quotes. So you'll be getting a quote or more from that each week. So every week you will get something from that. So that's all from getting the $5 subscription. But there's more, and I don't know if I said it in this video or not, but I'm going to say it if I didn't. You're also going to get thrown into a drawing if and when we hit 100 subscribers. We hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to send out, someone is going to win a copy, a nice hardbound, good-looking, deluxe edition copy of Spurgeon's Lectures to My Students. Once I hit 100 subscribers, and like I said before, if somehow amazingly we hit 500 subscribers, I may be able to actually then quit my day job, as it were, go back into full-time evangelistic ministry, and add to the reading I do here on Spurgeon Read My Way. So again, thank you so much, folks, for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, throw them there in the comments there on YouTube. And if you subscribe on Patreon, look for that content coming soon. Until I get some, there won't be anything dropping on Patreon because I got to get a subscriber first. So go in there, subscribe. But as soon as I get one, the content drops. 100, the free book goes out. Oh, and also, I'm going to try to work on making some custom bookmarks that have the page logo on them, and I'm going to put some Spurgeon quotes on them as well, on those bookmarks. So that's what I'm going to try to throw out to get those mailed out to every subscriber on Patreon. Someone's going to win the book once I clear 100. Everyone's going to get a bookmark as soon as I can figure out how to get them going, print them up, and make them look nice. Then I'll send some of those out to every single person that's on the subscriber list. All right? God bless you all. Hope you enjoyed this first teaser episode as I read the preface of Spurgeon's Lectures to My Students on Spurgeon Read My Way. God bless y'all.